In a world where decisions shape everything, every moment is a chance for transformation. This journey isn't just about where you've been, it's about where you're headed. Are you ready to break free from the limitations of your past and step into the possibilities of your future? In this inspiring exploration of change, growth, and the power of mindset, you'll discover how one decision, one shift in perspective, can lead you to the life you've always dreamed of. Your future starts today. Are you ready to embrace it? One decision can change everything. Let's get something straight. Your life doesn't change in a year. It doesn't change in a 5-step plan. It changes in a moment. One decision, one line in the sand, 1 second where you say, I'm done living like this. That's how transformation really starts. It only takes one decision to shift your entire reality. Every breakthrough starts the same way, with a moment of courage. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need one honest decision. Think about it. J.K. Rowling decided to keep writing even when she was broke. Steve Jobs decided to return to Apple when everyone thought he was finished. Oprah decided she would not let her past define her. What did all of them have in common? A single decision to bet on themselves. That's the power you hold. Right now. You can pivot, you can rewire, you can start over. Not tomorrow. Now. The past is over. Stop dragging it into your future. The past is a place to learn from, not a place to live in. Yet so many of us walk around carrying old identities like a badge. I'm not good with money. I always mess up relationships. I never finish what I start. None of that is truth. It's just a script you've been reciting so long you forgot you can change the lines. Here's the deal. You're not your mistakes. You're not your worst day. You're not the opinions people had about you when they didn't even know the real you. So stop letting your history hijack your future. You don't have to keep playing a role that doesn't fit. At some point you have to ask, who would I be if I stopped trying to be who the world expected me to be? Too many people stay stuck because they're more committed to who they've been than who they could become. But you don't have to keep performing the old version of you. You can rewrite the whole damn character. Yes, it's scary. Yes, people might not get it. But when you start living your truth, your real truth, you stop acting and start becoming. So what will it be? One decision, one moment of honesty, one shift, and the rest of your life starts to look different. Identity isn't fixed. You can change who you are. Let me ask you something. Who told you you had to stay the same? Who said your identity was some permanent label? Like a tattoo you can't remove. Because here's the truth most people never hear. You are not stuck. You're just used to being you. But you is a story, one you're allowed to rewrite. Your brain isn't a prison, it's plastic, it rewires, it adapts, it evolves. This isn't just motivational fluff. It's neuroscience. Your brain literally reshapes itself based on what you do, what you think, and what you believe. You can teach yourself new habits, new beliefs, a new way of reacting. It's called neuroplasticity, and it's your built-in permission slip to become someone new. Let that sink in. The you of today isn't the you of 5 years ago, and the you of 5 years from now, totally up to you. But it starts with a question. What version of myself am I rehearsing every day? You're not born with an identity. You build one. Nobody shows up in the world with a fixed title. You build who you are through your choices. You weren't born lazy. You practiced it. You weren't born confident. You earned it through discomfort. You weren't born shy. You adopted silence to feel safe. Identity isn't the truth. It's a pattern. And the second you realize that, you also realize you can choose a new pattern. You can become a disciplined one. The resilient one, the brave one. Even if you've never been that person before, you are the author, not the audience. Too many people live like background characters in their own story. They wait for permission. They wait for a sign. They wait for someone to tell them who to be. But that's not you. You're the writer, the narrator, the main character. So stop rereading old chapters that made you feel small. Stop quoting people who told you what you couldn't be. Pick up the pen and start writing the version of you that actually feels true. The bold one. The peaceful one, the unstoppable one. Because identity isn't something you find, it's something you create. So if who you are doesn't match who you want to be, it's not a crisis, it's a doorway. Walk through it. You don't live in the past, so stop letting it drive. Let's be honest. We all carry something. Maybe it's the mistake you keep replaying in your head at 2 a.m. Or that version of you that you're still ashamed of. Or a moment someone made you feel small and you started believing it. But here's the truth nobody told us growing up. Your past is real. But it doesn't get to write about your future. You do! You are not what happened to you. Maybe you messed up. Maybe you hurt people. Maybe you were hurt. But your past isn't a life sentence. It's a page, not the whole story. And you are so much more than what went wrong. Stop defining yourself by your damage. Start defining yourself by your direction. You can choose a new road, even if you've walked the wrong one for years. You are not stuck. You are not trapped. You are not too late. Every second you stay in a life that doesn't fit you is a second you could spend building one that does. Change doesn't ask for permission. It just asks for a decision. So if your soul is whispering, this isn't it, you don't owe the past your loyalty. You owe the future your courage. Every sunrise is an open door. You get to start again. Not when you move cities, not when you finally have it all together. But right now, each morning is a clean slate. Each moment is a choice. And every time you choose growth over guilt, forgiveness over shame, action over regret, you win back a piece of yourself. The past is a place to learn from, not live in. So keep the lesson, drop the weight, and walk forward into who you're becoming. That version of you. They're not waiting in the rear view. They're just up ahead. Big change doesn't need a big bang. We've been sold this lie. That transformation has to look dramatic. Like quitting your job, running off to another country, or waking up one day as a totally new person. But real change, it's quieter than that. It doesn't scream, it whispers. And it starts with something so small you almost miss it. Tiny shifts done daily can turn your life around. You don't need a grand plan. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. All you need is a new habit, a new thought, a new choice. One glass of water instead of soda. One boundary instead of people-pleasing. One deep breath before reacting. Small doesn't mean weak. It means manageable. It means repeatable. And in the long run, it means unstoppable. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to move. Waiting to feel confident before starting is like waiting to feel warm before building the fire. It doesn't work that way. Action creates momentum. Momentum builds belief. And belief changes everything. So go ahead, be messy, be unsure, be scared, but be in motion. Even tiny wins change how you see yourself. You brush your teeth at night after skipping for a week? That's discipline. You get out of bed when you want to stay under the covers? That's resilience. You speak kindly to yourself after messing up? That's growth. Every small act is a vote for the person you want to become. You don't need to impress anyone. You just need to keep showing up. Because the more you do, the more you prove to yourself, I'm not stuck, I'm shifting. Change isn't a single leap. It's 1,000 steps in the same direction. Start with one. That's all it takes. The elephant in the chair, the cage in your mind. There's this old story, a baby elephant tied to a wooden stake, too small to break free. So it pulls, struggles, fights, until one day it gives up. Years pass, the elephant grows. Now it's massive, strong enough to rip trees out of the ground. But the same thin rope and tiny stake still hold it in place. Why? Because it doesn't try anymore. It stopped questioning the rope a long time ago. What if your limits aren't real? Maybe the thing stopping you isn't your ability, it's your belief. Beliefs shaped by what you were told, what you failed once, what someone else said you'd never be. But those ropes were never tested again. You just assumed they still hold. Truth is, a lot of us walk around with strength we don't use, potential we don't explore, because a part of us still thinks we're small. You won't know your strength until you pull. You don't need to be 100% sure. You don't need a plan for every outcome. You just need that moment where you look at the stake in your life, the job, the fear, the doubt, and say, what if I can? And maybe, just maybe, you'll feel the rope snap. You're not the same as you were back then. Don't let old beliefs cage a new version of you. The rope isn't strong. You are. Stop waiting for motivation. Start moving. We all do it. We wait for the right day, the right feeling, the perfect vibe, the right playlist, the magical sign from the universe. But most of the time, that moment never comes. And the longer we wait, the heavier it gets. Like trying to start a car by staring at the gas pedal. Motivation isn't a spark, it's a result. We think motivation is the fuel, but it's the smoke. Action comes first. Not the big kind, not change your whole life in one day kind. Just the small kind. Open the laptop, lace up the shoes, say no to that one thing. And suddenly, something shifts. Momentum starts to build. Not because you felt ready, but because you moved anyway. You don't wait to feel strong, you do, and strength follows. If you keep waiting for the right mindset, you'll be stuck in the same loop forever. But the truth is, clarity comes after motion. Confidence comes after effort. Energy comes after the first step. So don't wait to feel motivated. Be the reason you feel it. Motion creates emotion. If you want to feel alive, move. If you want to feel powerful, act. If you want to build momentum, start. Not when it feels perfect, but especially when it doesn't. Every moment holds power, if you choose to see it. We rush through life looking for the big moment, the breakthrough, the life-changing opportunity. But here's the secret. There are no ordinary moments, only moments we overlook. Only seconds we pass by without realizing that they could have been everything. What if this is the moment? Not someday. Not when things calm down or when I'm more ready. This second. Right now, in your room, in your car, in your head. This could be the second you decide. No more waiting, I start now. And that decision, that breath, could shift the whole direction of your life. Not with noise, not with fireworks, but quietly, like the first domino falling. Power isn't in the future, it's in the present. People think turning points come with music and camera zooms, but real change feels normal, almost boring. It feels like saying no to an old pattern, or yes to the thing you've been avoiding. It feels like trying just one more time, and those tiny choices, stacked on top of each other, that's how lives are transformed. The present moment isn't just now, it's a chance, a door, a spark, and it's waiting for you to notice it. Life is the teacher, and pain is the lesson plan. Some of the deepest truths, you don't learn them in comfort. You learn them in the fire. Life doesn't test you to break you. It tests you to show you. Hardships are not punishments, they're instructions. When the job falls apart, when the person leaves, when you hit rock bottom and wonder, why is this happening to me? The answer is quiet. So you'll finally listen. Maybe it's time to let go, to slow down, to finally face the part of yourself you've been avoiding. Pain is a mirror, and most of us don't want to look. But when we do, we see. Growth demands discomfort, always. We want strength, but we resist the weight. We want clarity, but we avoided the storm. We want purpose, but we run from the questions that hurt. But if you keep running, you'll stay exactly where you are. Because the real lessons, they live in the ache, in the chaos, in the moments where you want to quit but don't. Life is the teacher, but only the brave show up to class. Greatness requires risk and the willingness to break. You don't become legendary by playing it safe. You don't grow wings by staying on the ground. If you want a big life, you have to be willing to bleed for it. Pain is part of the path to greatness, always. Every hero has a scar. Every artist has a heartbreak. Every breakthrough starts as a breakdown. You can't skip that part. You shouldn't skip that part. Because it's in those moments of loss, confusion, and fear that you find out who the hell you really are. Not the version that pleases others. Not the version that plays small to stay safe. But the real you, the one who's been waiting for you to stop hiding. Nothing great ever came without a risk. That business idea, that honest conversation, that dream that keeps calling you. It's not supposed to feel easy. It's supposed to feel real. Because when you risk your heart, you also open it. And when you're finally willing to fall, you're finally free to rise. Comfort never changed the world. But courage builds empires. Growth is risk, period. We talk about growing up like it's something that just happens. Like time does the work for us. But the truth is, you don't grow by aging. You grow by risking. No risk, no real growth. Want to evolve? You have to leave the version of you that's safe, small, and comfortable. That means walking into the unknown, saying yes when you're scared, leaving when it would be easier to stay. Starting even when no one claps for you. The real growth moments, they don't look like Instagram quotes. They look like crying in your car after doing the hard thing. Every version of you that grows destroys the old one. Growth isn't just adding new things. It's letting go of identities, of patterns, of stories that don't fit anymore. And that hurts, because it feels like losing parts of yourself. But what you're really doing is creating room for who you actually are. So if your path feels messy, uncertain, terrifying, you're not doing it wrong. You're just growing for real this time. The journey is just beginning. Sometimes life isn't about what we've achieved, but about what we dare to dream and are willing to make a reality. Every decision you make, every step you take along this journey opens up a new path, a new opportunity. And the most important thing is, you always have the power to decide your own future. But this journey doesn't end here. Opportunities are always waiting for us, as long as we dare to step out of our comfort zones and explore the unknown. And if you found inspiration from what we've shared today, don't let it be a fleeting moment. Keep moving forward on your journey, and don't forget to come back and share your next steps with us. If you found this lesson helpful, if you want to continue receiving inspiring and motivating content, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new content. Together, we'll continue reaching new heights because your future starts today. Let every day be an opportunity to change, to grow, and to become the best version of yourself. You deserve all the amazing things ahead. And remember, You're always just one decision away from a completely different life. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, and let's make great strides together.